If you're looking for some practical and wallet-friendly tips on how to maximize your holiday budget, whether that being gift giving, whether you are hosting Christmas and you want to decorate your house, or if you're really one who loves to do DIY, when is it the best time to go and find Christmas items at the thrift stores? Let's go ahead and get started today. I'm Jessica of Team Mold. I'm the other half of this thrifting duo. My husband Aaron also is part of this channel. He runs our eBay store, and together we do this YouTube channel to be able to share. In 2024, we're going to be expanding out into whatnot, so we have a lot of fun things to share with you. Now, when you are thinking about any sort of holiday season and how to really make your money stretch, one of the tips that we have is to go after Christmas. I know you're like, I'm Christmased out, right? So it's the day after, a couple days after, it's that week after. And you say, but Jess, Aaron, I am totally Christmased out. This is the best time to go and find that stuff. So we went in to a thrift store in a city in Burlington, Wisconsin. Thrift stores all over. This is just one example. And in here, they have a bunch of their Christmas items because they don't want to hold on to all that stock all year, right? And wait till next Christmas. Now, they might hold some of the items, but I'm going to be really honest, a huge majority of the items they have for Christmas, they're going to try and clearance out. Now, there are other thrift stores we were at that had things 80, 90% off. And remember, again, these are thrifted items, so they're already, items that have been used or gently used and then donated, or, they purchased them to resale. And one of the things that I love is obviously when you're keeping items out of a dumpster, right? Like, that's great, especially if it's a good quality item. Why throw something that is in good shape away? Number two, if you are decorating your home, one of the things that we found for this year is that we really wanted to have a lot of Christmas on our walls. We wanted to have some nostalgia. We really wanted to try and find things that reminded us of our childhood. And one of the best places to find those things is in a thrift store. The thrift store is going to have probably, things that resemble what your grandmother or your great-grandmother may have had. Potentially your mom or stepdad or somebody, whomever, that you might not be able to see those items anymore because they have passed, or maybe they live too far away, or it was just something that was your favorite. So going into a thrift store, you might be able to find those items. Now, items I probably wouldn't suggest picking up right after Christmas are going to be a ton of clothes, because your family probably already got some of that. Although if you find something unique and original, by all means, But I try not to do any kind of clothing shopping, especially, well, again, it depends what we're doing. But if it's like, oh, I was looking for, something the kids could make into an ugly Christmas sweater. Well, I might buy that ahead of time. But be cautious because, again, it's a whole nother 12 months and we don't know how tall or styles that they might not be interested in. But I try to really focus in on the DIY and the decor. So I am a huge Disney fan. My husband loves Marvel. He loves Wolverine. Cannot wait for the new Deadpool movie. And so we try to find things that we could DIY to make our Christmas just a little different. And you can see here, like, this one has a bunch of different beads and different wreaths, that this is the perfect time because, again, 80 to 90% off thrifting prices. And this is not like your overpriced, I don't want to say it, but, Goodwill. But, we can actually get some of these items for a decent price. I am hoping myself, one of the things I'm hoping for 2024 is I'm going to be starting a new treadmill and walking with our dog. So I'm excited for that. So I'm trying not, to buy any kind of cute Christmas shirts or anything, just because I'm afraid. I'm not afraid. I'm actually excited. Maybe I should have bought them, right? Because they'll be too big then by the time Christmas rolls around again. But again, watching out for clothing just because of adjustments to sizes. But this is the perfect time. Like if you were going to buy like some of these, like there's some Griswold shirts. These would be so much fun to cut up and make quilts. You know how people do like the Christmas quilts? You can usually get them for very inexpensive. Again, like I said, like, okay, so those Griswold shirts and pants set, the actual thrift store had it on sale for $6.99, 85% off. So, I mean, if you are a sewer, I mean, what a great opportunity to get some great Christmas fabrics that you could DIY into a goofy quilt of like funny Christmas movies. Like that would be a really fun quilt to make for the back of your couch, just a bunch of all your favorite Christmas movies imagery. The other thing I love too is all these right here. These are all table runners. And some of them, not my style, but that's okay. You know, everybody has a different theme for Christmas. And again, I would love, I mean, get a bunch of placemats or take these table runners, cut them up, sew them over, turn them into placemats. I really like a nice, cohesive, collective color scheme for my Christmas. But I've also seen Christmas tables where every person had a different theme for that person. Nativity sets. I have seen some beautiful vintage sets that they were too highly priced before Christmas that now you can get a great price. So it almost reminds me of when you watch the Rose Bowl parade or any of the biggies, right? You watch even the Macy's Thanksgiving parade, and what's the first thing they say? We start this process over again the very next day after the parade runs. No different, right? So you're starting to plan because what it's going to do is alleviate so much stress for you for next year. So my husband and I hosted Christmas for the first time this year, and it was a lot of, we had high, I think, very high expectations for ourselves, and that's okay, but it was a lot of stress. And so that's why we started thinking about how can we make this easier for ourselves. So, for example, for Christmas for shopping, we actually make an Excel spreadsheet where we put every person's name down. And then throughout the year, I mean, there are times that I've bought gifts for people in February and, you know, etc. And it's just because I was in a particular location or someplace and something sort of reminded me that, oh, that is totally what that person needs. So it's never too early to start. Not to mention, I just don't like when it's all last minute. Number one, the presents don't get to be presents. And number two, I feel like I overspend, or I feel like, oh, I start to second guess myself with presents that I bought, which I don't want to do that. I want to feel like, oh, this is exactly what that person wants. So. And I hope so far this video has sort of prompted you just to think about those things. I just want to take a really quick moment and share a little bit about who we are and why we're here. But if you've been here before and you subscribed already, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Aaron is really working on his channel, and I'm here helping him with this. And we are trying to get to our first goal, which is to get 500 subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead and do so. Like I said before, we are truly the dynamic duo. We love to be able to go out and we do Uber, DoorDash, sorry. I was going to mix the two. We also do Instacart. We do a lot of thrifting. We do eBay. I myself also, away from all of this, own my own rubber stamp company, so I do that as well. So we love to be able to be creative and resourceful, and I hope that our videos inspire you. And with that being said, please go ahead and subscribe. Help us reach our 500 goal. We've got a really fun idea on what we can do to celebrate with all of you, and I think that would be a ton of fun. So from here, I guess what I want to know is from you. Down below, I would love to hear from you after you click that little subscribe button. What kind of things do you look for in the thrift stores? You know, do you do any Christmas thrifting to like decorate, or do you already say, you know what, I should probably donate all my stuff so that I have less Christmas to decorate with? I'd love to hear from you down below if you could tell us, What are the things you like to look for? Have you ever gone out the day after Christmas just to see what is there? I'll be really honest, even going to like Kohl's, Target, um, Walmart, all of those, sometimes those are amazing after Christmas because a lot of people will return items and they'll say, it really wasn't our thing. But the thing is that it's not something that they're actively selling anymore. And so what happens is the item comes back in and they say, well, this item is already clearanced because we don't have, let's just say a shirt. We don't have that shirt anymore. Target is going to offer them the full price as a gift, they can use in the store or whatever, or a refund. And then they're going to restock that item and say, well, but we can only sell it now for whatever the current value is, which would be whatever the current sale price is. I've gone to Walmart before. Now, it's kind of a madhouse, I'm not going to lie to you, because there's a lot of people trying to return and then people shopping, and then so gifts are moving all over. But there are times that you are going to find things that, oh my goodness, they will have it clearanced so low. I mean, we're talking way under $3 for an item that I would have probably paid $20 or $25 or more for. So keep that in mind, that the day after Christmas, you might say, ugh, last thing I want to do is go out, when all these people are returning items. But they're restocking those items on the shelves to, resell if they can. So the other thing I wanted to share too is that I love finding these kind of things. This looks like somebody cut this out with their jigsaw, hand painted it. I probably should have bought it when I saw it, but I put it back up, and then Aaron and I started talking about some of the stuff we were working on. I got distracted and left those adorable Dalmatians. So I was kind of bummed about that. This thrift store, if you've watched our other videos, this is the same thrift store that we actually ended up getting 3 sheep blow molds from. They also had the full Mary and Joseph and the baby, and I feel so bad, like we should have taken it all because I didn't realize at the time how much those are actually worth. But we ended up with 3 of them, so we've got a tiny little flock in our backyard. Our border collie, we love taking pictures of our border collie with his 3 little glow-in-the-dark Christmas sheep every year, so definitely be on the lookout for those items. And I just wanted to share a little bit about like DIY projects in the craft store or in the thrifting stores. So I like to do a lot of that. One of the things that I've seen a lot of people do, like if you paint or you create art, you may want to think about buying like a really old piece of, something that you're like, ooh, that's totally 1980s. You could put what they call gesso over the top of it and do some original painting. You could go in, and I've actually seen people adjust paintings to add creepy, fun things, especially if that's whoever your gift giver is, their personality. You could, like I said earlier, DIY any sort of wall art or creativeness. The other thing that's fun is like kids' toys. Sometimes you can go in and repaint them, turn them into ornaments. And what I like about thrifting this early for that kind of a project is that it gives me the next, 364 days to actually budget the time to be able to do that, And then I just get to focus on creating my, a one-of-a-kind item. And then when Christmas time comes, obviously then I can share something that looks handmade or is handmade or DIY'd. And then that usually gets a great response. So this is definitely the time to start looking for these items. And I just want to thank you so much, Mold of Steel friends and fans, for joining me on this thrifting educational moment. We'll just say 15 minutes of quick education on thrifting and hopefully to inspire you. Please go ahead and follow Aaron and I on this journey. Like I said before, we are on the road to 500 subscribers. And honestly, we could not be any more grateful for your support. You are all amazing, wonderful. We've gotten some great people responding to us. But if you haven't already, go ahead, subscribe. Let's grow this community and let's make thrifting dreams come true. And I hope that you all also had a wonderful Christmas holiday. I hope you enjoyed a lot of time with your family and friends. And I hope that you are ready to just get out there and make 2024 something absolutely amazing. So we look forward to seeing you around, and I can't wait to hear your comments from my question earlier. Everyone, take care and get ready for New Year's as we get ready to start 2024.